Once again, you all knew this was coming. Exactly 6 months after NetherRealm released their god-awful new take on Sindel, they released a story expansion that brings her into the narrative of MK11. Many fans hoped that NetherRealm would listen to the fan outcry and somehow fix her. Others concluded that, as with Justice League, the next project was too far along to course correct and that we were stuck with her like this. So, am I here to confirm that Sindel is indeed completely ruined, or to say that NetherRealm somehow managed to fix her broken narrative and put everything right? Let's discuss. The first third of the plot of Aftermath revolves around Shang Tsung's plan to resurrect Sindel by capturing her Revenant. Where she was during the main story is never explained, naturally, nor how this can be done without Quan Chi. They knock her out and take her to the Soul Chamber to restore her with help from Shiva. All throughout it's mentioned that Sindel's true personality will be restored once she's human again. This does appear to be the case, but her words and body language seem a little off. It could be that she's faking, or that it's just bad writing. I mean, this is the same scene where Sindel's clothes and makeup magically change in her restoration, and Kitana says she's dreamed of her mother's return for 1,000 years when she's been dead for 10.
That was 600 years ago.
She claims her death was at Quan Chi's hands, which had been claimed in various intros, which makes her ward a lie and makes Khan even more of an idiot than has already been documented. She hugs Kitana, and it's kinda awkward and pales in comparison to the Deception one. She joins the group in heading to Shang Tsung's island, where she speaks very callously of Raiden, earning a look from Nightwolf and Fujin. This is the point where it's starting to look more like she's faking, and the others are just too dumb to pick up on it. She helps defeat Cetrion and then leaves to rally the Outworld forces. We next see her speaking with Shang Tsung about their secret plot, as the chapter is revealed to be shared by her and Shao Kahn. After seeing Kitana off, Sindel frees Kahn from his cell, lays out Shiva, seemingly killing her, and then very easily manipulates the brain-dead Shao Kahn to join her cause. They ambush the special forces, capturing the cages, and then attack Kitana's ship, throwing Kung Lao overboard and breaking both Kitana's heart and Liu Kang's legs. They're very open about Sindel's true nature, and she even kills the Revenant Jade and Kitana with no qualms. They then fall for Shang Tsung's lies, proving that NetherRealm Sindel truly is Shao Kahn's equal in evil, lust for power, and stupidity. So yeah, they're sticking with it. Golden opportunity to win back fans by revealing it was all mind control, but they chose to solidify this god-awful take on the character as canon. A common rebuttal to my arguments has always been that this Sindel isn't canon, so who cares? I always argue that it would very likely inform her next canonical appearance. Turns out, this Sindel is canon, and will only not be in the future if the next writer happens to prefer her original incarnation. This new backstory is now what Sindel has always been, and I am fucking disgusted that NetherRealm insists on pushing this god-awful retcon. And yes, it is a retcon, because her bio in 2011 clearly said she was under mind control. Fuck you. Fans have been criticising it for over 6 months, and NetherRealm did not care. While it's possible they wrote and recorded Aftermath alongside the base story, I find that unlikely given Sonya's total lack of dialogue here, as if Rhonda was too busy to come back to record more. Great casting choice, by the way. And they didn't even do anything interesting with this new Sindel, so I once more have to question what the fuck Sean was on about when he said he was proud of what had been done with her. They didn't create an interesting arc for Sindel, where Geras was right in the base game and she only thinks she's evil and hates Kitana, and relearned her true nature, like a more fleshed out reimagining of MK3. Nor did they even take this evil and she loves it idea in an interesting direction. She's just a boring female Shao Kahn who serves as a monkey wrench in the hero's plan for the finale before she goes out like a bitch alongside Kahn. At this point, the best we can realistically hope for is the next timeline having her be more true to her original persona, with Liu Kang getting credit for making her a better person rather than letting her improve by her own power like she did originally. But nothing sums up the contempt NetherRealm holds for Sindel's fans quite like their corruption of that iconic image from her Deception ending. When she hugs Kitana, it's awkward and feels wrong. Then she hugs Khan and shows genuine love for the man who, in the original version of the story, led her to fucking suicide. Someone please do a model swap to put Sindel in place of Melina in Kitana's friendship so we can have a more accurate depiction of their relationship. There really is nothing else to say at this point. NetherRealm's current creative team have hijacked Sindel's name to insert their own god-awful new character, and then audaciously insisted that fans would like what they'd done to her, and that this was just how she always was. This really is a disgrace to the name of one of MK's most interesting characters with one of the best arcs and story roles in the series. One more time. Sindel was a tragic queen who abandoned her people and her daughter to pursue her own selfish escape and death. She was then used as a pawn by the man who led her there, and was shown unearned love by her daughter and acceptance by her people. She repaid that kindness by saving her daughter when their roles were reversed, and then fought in a battle to save her realm. The writers of MK11, while they made her death less selfish, still respected the core of her character and story, acknowledging her true nature in her bio and ending. Since then, the writing staff at NetherRealm has changed, leaving us with writers who have no problem rewriting characters and aspects of the universe to so vast an extent as to be entirely different characters and setting details. I mean, Christ, I made a separate character based on this new portrayal, and I can assure you, it works a hell of a lot better for Shao Kahn's jealous second wife than it does for Sindel. Contrary to what some bafflingly say, she is not made empowered by losing her arc of overcoming her own weakness and bettering herself as a queen and mother, and becoming the generically evil wife of her former abuser with no personality of which to speak. The original Sindel was a fully fleshed out and well-defined character, but this Sindel has less depth than Rita fucking Repulsa. These people have no respect for this series, its setting, its history, or its characters, and such people have no goddamn place working on such a major franchise. Currently, as far as I'm aware, Sean Kittleson is no longer employed at NetherRealm, though Dominic Cianciolo still is. I wish Sean luck with his original projects, but I pray he never touches an established franchise like this again. And I hope that whoever takes his place on the writing staff is someone who can show this bona fide institution of the video game industry the respect it fucking deserves.